Hey, hello, what's up, you guys? Thank you very much for watching my YouTube video. And then today I want to talk about thinking in English, right? There's a lot of people, say that you need to think in English, in order for you to speak fluently in English, or speak naturally in English, right? So yes, I think I agree with that idea, because thinking is about almost the same kind of thing that you actually speaking up, because same kind of thing, only that you're making sound or not, that's the only the difference. So if you think, every time you think about something in English, I think that it's gonna it's gonna be great benefit for you to improve in your English skill. And then yes, today I want to talk about this, and then basically I want to talk about myself and then thinking in English, right? So you know when I speaking in English, like doing right now, I actually don't think much in my head. Actually, I have this kind of feeling that English sentences just comes out, without thinking too much in my head. But time to time, I need to think, in my head before I actually speaks up, so that I won't be rude or anything. Sometimes I have to, choose my words, right? So in that case, I wouldn't think in my head, but I never, in that case, I never, think in Japanese, instead always think in English, right? So while I'm speaking, as I said, I'm already thinking English, if I have to think about something, right? But I was thinking about it, these days. And then I'm kind of guy, since when I was a little kid, I'm kind of guy, who think a lot, every day, so many hours I'm spending a lot of time thinking about something. It's I didn't mean to start thinking about something. It's kind of like unconsciously, you know I start thinking about something, like while I'm like eating a meal, or go out for shopping, trying to find something, whatever I was looking for. you know I just start thinking, about something, without myself noticing it. It's just and suddenly I realized that, oh, I'm thinking about this or that, or that kind of stuff. It's just it is not something that I mean to do it, but just start thinking about something. So since when I was a little kid, I'm kind of that guy. Think a lot. So when I was thinking about it, and when I was younger, and looking back at the past, when I was working for that company and then using the English every day, I remember now that maybe half the time, when I think about something, I was thinking in English, and then the rest of the that's the time in Japanese. But these days, I think that that reason is that because I haven't used English for like 16 years, last 16 years, I don't use English almost at all, right? So I think that my something in my head, or something changed inside me. And then every time these days I realize that these days, when I'm thinking about something, while like in the daytime, I realized that I was already thinking in Japanese, instead of English, because the dream is the same thing. Dream that while I'm sleeping, right? When I was younger, using the English every day, I was, half of the dream I had was, in English. But these days, all the dream I have at night is in Japanese, and also that all the thinking, you know, that I started with unconsciously would be in Japanese. So somehow, if I kind of like make a habit, or make make it a natural thing for me to do, to think in English. I mean, every time I'm think thinking about something, make it, make it to, like a habit, or make it a very natural thing for me to, think in English only. I think it's gonna help me a lot to improve my English skill, because learning English needs a lot of time, right? And then all depends on how much time you spend on speaking, or you are listening or reading or whatever, and expose yourself to English. How many hours you can expose yourself in English every day. That's the key to improve your or acquire that English speaking skill, right? So yeah, one thing that I'm trying to do this year is actually trying to make a habit. Every time think about something, even though it is something that I started with started unconsciously, and trying to like make a habit. And every time I think about something, make it in English. I think it's gonna help me a lot to improve English skill. So yes, that's something that I'm intend to do this year. So yeah, so as I mentioned on the previous video, that I am trying to talk to myself in English every day, right? But that is something that I could do, when I am alone, right? Like while I'm driving, alone, or like at home, there's nobody around me. I could talk to myself in English. But like think if I think in English, I could do it anywhere, no matter where I'm at. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and I'm gonna see you on the next one, right? Okay, bye now.